smells like sunscreen.
I know you're very excited to ride, but I can't give instructions till everyone can hear. Thank you very much. My name is Lou, and I am with Safe Routes to Schools Bike Rodeo. We are very excited to be here today. We have other staff, Laura, Peggy, and Renee. They're around here. We're going to do a helmet check. The way your helmet should fit, you should only have 2 fingers below your helmet at the bottom of your eyebrow. So it should be forward on your head. Here you can look at this diagram. And then you should only have 2 fingers in between. So if you need help adjusting your helmet, please raise your hand and one of our staff will be over. If you need help with the buckle, making the strap shorter, that's a little tough. So raise your hand and we'll get you set up. Next we're going to do a bike check. So it's called an ABC bike check. What do you think A stands for? Air. All right, everyone squeeze your tires and make sure you have enough air in those tires. You don't want them too squishy. If you need air, raise your hand.
Okay, so introduce yourself a little bit. Like, what do you do at Safe Routes? Why did you join?
I joined Safe Routes shortly after I saw the program being taught to my 2nd grader. And I just thought it was a great program, and I started volunteering a little bit for them, and then I slowly moved into other areas, got hired, and worked in every facet of the elementary program, and now I work with the teen program mostly, with middle schoolers. And I've been with Safe Routes probably 12 years.
And real quick, just can I interrupt? Can you also say your name and what your position is in Safe Routes?
Okay. My name is Lou Goodwin, and I'm the teen coordinator with the middle schools and also a Safe Routes instructor.
Okay. How has Safe Routes impacted your life?
Well, I tend to ride my bike mostly everywhere. I want to be a good example by arriving to school by bike and doing my errands on bicycle. So I'm also very cognizant of the rules of the road when I am riding, being an example to other students.
What would you say is the goal of Safe Routes?
The goal is to there's so many goals.
What would you say when you joined? What was the motivation for you joining?
For me joining?
Yeah. What do you think you could personally do to help move that goal forward?
Well, I'm an avid cyclist, and I wanted my children to be, and I saw the benefits of bicycling to get to school, so I wanted to share that capability in other students.
What are the benefits of getting students to walk or bike at an early age?
Well, if they learn at an early age with their parents, they gain a lot of skills walking or biking to school, like learning safety issues and also learning that it's fun to walk or bike to school. You could be with your peers, so that when they do get to middle school, they are very empowered to meet their friends and walk on their own to school, walk or bike. So I think it's great for confidence building and independence.
What are some areas that you've seen the most like growth from Safe Routes to School that it's impacted the most?
I think in our encouragement program, we hold events and try to encourage students to walk or bike by challenges or contests. And I think these kind of longer term events actually change some behaviors. So more and more students are walking or biking.
It's kind of well,
All right, that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all set with your interview.
Okay.
okay. What is your name and what do you do at Safe Routes to School?
My name is Gwen Froh, and I'm the program director for Safe Routes to Schools.
Why did you decide to join Safe Routes?
Well, my kids were one of the first students in the county of Marin, and actually in the country, because Safe Routes to Schools started in Marin County, to ever participate in the Marin Safe Routes to Schools program. Safe Routes to Schools started with 5 schools in Marin County, and my children were at one of the first schools, Manor Elementary School, when the program got started there.
Okay. How has it impacted your life?
I have a complete passion for getting children healthy through exercise. And one of the best ways to do that is to promote walking and biking to school. It wakes up the brain, it invigorates them before they sit down to the rigors of school. It allows them to cut. Redo. What was the question?
How has Safe Routes to School impacted your life?
I have an immense passion for Safe Routes to Schools and what this brings to our community at large. I really truly believe in the healthy habits that this program promotes. I believe in helping the families through traffic reduction. I believe that it really makes better school communities because the students arrive by biking and walking to school energized and invigorated and ready to learn academics at their school sites.
What are some areas that you have seen benefited most from Safe Routes to School?
Some areas that I've seen. How did you guys answer that? What are the areas?
I mean, I think that was on your paper. But
I didn't get that one.
Oh, I can talk about the how the program got started.
okay, yeah, that's
Okay.
like,
Just talk about less traffic.
How about how many schools it started with and how many there are now that
Okay.
are all using it? How a school could
Great.
possibly get in touch and get it to their school?
Okay, very good question. Safe Routes to Schools started in Marin County in the year 2000. There were only 5 schools at the time. In fact, walking and biking to school was so unpopular that if a child was seen on a bike, they were asked by other students, "What's wrong with your parents' car?" Today, we have 58 schools participating in our program, and we have nearly 15,000 students that are walking and biking to school daily.
Wow.
Actually, that's not quite true. Can I redo on that one?
Yeah.
Today we have 58 schools participating, and we have nearly 15,000 students walking, biking, carpooling, and taking the bus to school.
what is the goal of Safe Routes to School?
The goal of Safe Routes to Schools is to create happy and healthy children through walking and biking to school, and safer streets by having more parents carpool and students taking the bus to school.
What is the biggest challenge that Marin parents are facing today?
The biggest challenge that Marin parents face today is the fact that the economy is really good. That means that more parents are working and they're very busy. So they tend to want to just simply drop their children off to school, even though they know that walking and biking is better for their health and for the environment. One of the solutions that Safe Routes to Schools has to combat that is that we are promoting parking and walking to school. So we're encouraging parents that even live a long distance from school or are too busy to bike and walk the entire way to school with their child to park partway, maybe just a few blocks away or 5 minutes away, and walk with their students from there.
Okay, that's all the questions we have for you then.
Okay, did I miss anything, you guys?
Some pretty. Yeah, it sounded awesome.
Okay, great.
I am Monica Leifert. I have been with Safe Routes to Schools for over 5 years now. And my main job is to coordinate all the work that we do for the bilingual schools. I now call them the minority schools because before I only did schools where, with the Latino students, but now we include Martin Luther King to cover the African American population in Maringo.
Why did you decide to join Safe Routes?
It was a strange coincidence. I had this friend who is European and she was doing my job before. And then she told me about how happy she was doing this job and I wished to the stars that I had this job somehow. And a few months later, she decided to go back to Europe. And she recommended me for her job and I was happy as a clam.
What are some areas that you've seen have benefited most from Safe Routes to School?
Being able to teach minority children the benefits, the health, and also I would say the intellectual benefits of walking and biking to school, waking up the brain in the morning before you go to class, because it does give you a push intellectually, being awake in the morning, and send a message against childhood obesity among minorities.
What are, how is Safe Routes?
You can walk or use your bike if you are going a little farther.
That's all the questions we have. So
Okay, awesome. So
I think we're good.
that's your interview. You did great. Thank you so
you.
much.